Not every doomsday is a major blackout across the planet or World War III. We all may be faced with our own personal doomsday. Being prepared can reduce the fear, anxiety, and losses that come with life-changing events. And being prepared could also mean the difference between life and death. Hey everybody, I'm Bill, and I want to help you protect yourself and your family by being prepared. Now, when most people talk about what they're preparing for, it's a major disaster. It could be a power outage. It could be a hurricane. It could be World War III if you're keeping track with current events in the world today. We're prepping for the zombie apocalypse, some people might tell you. We're prepping for the end of the world. But I want to talk about those doomsday events that might be a little bit more personal and closer to home. I'm talking about things like loss of your job. If you're the breadwinner in your family and you lose your employment and you can no longer support your family, that's a major shit hit the fan event in just about anybody's life. But if you've been preparing, stocking up on food, stocking up on supplies, stocking up on the skills, chances are good that you'll be able to bridge the gap until you can find employment again. Another personal doomsday, and this can just happen to any one of us. What if you're in an automobile accident or suffers another type of personal injury? Perhaps it's an industrial injury. You're hurt on the job. You're disabled. That in itself is also a major personal doomsday. You might not be able to work, so this kind of rolls back into that loss of income for the family. If you're the sole breadwinner, this is going to create a hardship. And again, if you're a prepper and you've been setting aside food and first aid and supplies, you're better prepared to go through that rehabilitation process and get back to work and provide for your family. Another personal doomsday can occur when you experience a property loss. Now, this may be in the form of a theft of property, and it may be in the form of a devastating house fire. In any event, you've lost your personal belongings. I've recently had a friend who had his vehicle stolen. That was a big personal doomsday for him and his family. House fires happen way too often in this country. And in those instances, these families lose everything. There's a growing concern across the country also when people are moving. You might have heard these stories, and they spend the night in a hotel with the U-Haul parked out in the parking lot, and they get up in the morning and it's gone. It's stolen. Everything they own is gone. That's a big personal doomsday that they have to confront. Another personal doomsday that we all might experience, and that is the death of a spouse. You can't plan for this on a personal level, but you can plan for it and be prepared in the event that it happens. You can have insurance, and I don't mean the type of insurance monetarily. Sure, that's good to have, but I'm also talking about the insurance of having supplies and food and skills. As a surviving member of the marriage, you can go through the grieving process and survive it and come out successfully on the backside of that grieving process if you are prepared, where you don't have to worry about where's your next meal coming from, and you don't have to worry about, am I going to be able to pay the rent? If you've been preparing, you're going to have money set aside. You're going to have food set aside. You're going to be able to confront this devastating personal doomsday successfully. Yes, it will be sad. It will be sad for anybody that this happens to. But the reality of it is, it could happen. And it could happen to any of us. Now, I don't mean to sound all down and all that on this, but I do think it's important that we consider these things and be prepared and know that any of this could happen. We could lose a loved one. We could lose our job. We could be injured and not be able to work. So just think about this. Give it some consideration. I'm not saying you have to dwell on it, but you do need to consider it. And if you guys find this information helpful, why don't you go ahead and press down on that thumbs up button. And if you're not a subscriber yet, why not? Go ahead and subscribe right now. And if you hit that notification bell, you get notified each and every time I upload some new content. So do that right now. Again, everybody, not every doomsday is a major blackout across the planet or World War III. We all may be faced with our own personal doomsday. So again, be prepared and you will survive. You guys have a blessed day. Thanks.